You're on.
Good morning. I'm Mr. Sun, and today we are going to learn how to make maple syrup the old-fashioned way and in your backyard. Has anybody never had real New York State maple syrup? By show of hands. So you're an Aunt Jemima person then?
Even less name brand.
Okay. well, there's different types of ways you can do it. There's a huge professional sugar industry that has 5,000 to 6,000 taps at any place, and then you have your own backyard operations, which could have as little as 10 or 11 taps. And back at home, when I was in high school, that's what I did. I had 12 taps in my backyard, and we made about 3 or 4 gallons of maple syrup a year. Does anybody know how much a gallon of maple syrup costs? Any guesses?
30, 40?
It costs $45 to $50 a gallon. So we make it in our backyard. We use propane to make it, and we made it for roughly $20. So it was under half what it costs at a big operation. So it's really expensive. So we're going to meet a guy named Steve, and he's going to show us his own little operation in the mountains.
If I had to charge based on what the yield was, my labor, I'd probably have to charge about $1,000 a gallon. And even then I'd be paying myself not even minimum wage.
Every year at the end of winter, Steve Fagan, the Day.com's outdoors blogger, taps the trees behind his home, using his own spin on traditional techniques to collect sap and make maple syrup.
Now if I were really authentic, I would use this contraption, but it's quite labor intensive, as you can see. And if I put in close to 30 taps, it would take the better part of a day. So pay no attention to what I'm about to do here. This is slightly more efficient, something called electricity. To just go from tree to tree, I tap probably about 15 trees and put in about 30 taps. And the yield, as we'll discover later on in the process, is about 40 to 1. So it takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. And generally I'll start boiling around 6 in the morning, and if we're lucky we'll get syrup by 10 or so at night. So it's a labor intensive process. It's more of a labor of love and fun, not going to get rich doing this kind of thing. It just gives you a sense of self-satisfaction. You can feel a little bit of the pioneering spirit. And the Native Americans, supposedly the ones who originated it, when they would make, they obviously didn't have power drills or even hand drills, they just would make slashes in the bark, and they would put the reeds in and they would collect it that way. There's different methods of converting the sap to sugar. Sometimes they would just simply let it freeze, and the water would rise to the top and peel off the frozen surface, and then the sap would concentrate. They would throw hot rocks, they'd heat rocks up until it. Now they've gotten much more sophisticated with different methods of extracting and reducing the water. I just go very, very low tech, very hygienic. I just build a big fire, and I have all my scrap wood that I don't use to burn in the house, and it'll take about 12, 15 hours or more, depending on how much sap I collect. It needs about another half an hour, I think.
So maple syrup making is an extremely long process. I was able to work the past 3 winters in a sugar bush that has 5,000 taps, and they have so many taps, they have 4 sets of horses that they use to collect it because the woods is so up and down they can't drive tractors through it. So it takes 3 days to collect everything just once in each bucket, and a good run will fill. Those are just milk gallons, but they have 3-gallon buckets that they put on each tree, and those will fill in less than a day if there's a really good run. So there's not enough time to collect it, and then it'll take up to 25 hours to boil just one time around. And they have really, really big ones that I had, there were 2 of them, and they were 30 feet by 20 feet. Does anybody have a guess as to how much those would even cost? They're made of stainless steel. Each evaporator costs $35,000. So there is absolutely no profit to be made in this industry. You have such huge expense. So maple syrup is going down because it costs so extremely. So when you pay $40 or $50 for a gallon, that's why. Because you have all the labor, then you have all the time, and then you have all the money you have to invest in everything else. So now I have a few questions. How many gallons of sap does it take for 1 gallon of syrup?
40.
Yep. What is the first step in the process of maple syrup making? Yep, tapping the tree. And I don't think this video said this, but the actual percentage of sap to water, sap is 97.25% water. So that's why you have to boil it so long. It's less than 3%. And then how do you know when the syrup's done? Does anybody have an idea? You can taste it, but the temperature is also 7 degrees above the boiling temperature of water, so it's 219 degrees, or it'll also start sheeting. And if you get burned, you'll also know that way. You can actually smell your skin. You can actually smell it. It'll leave like the smell residue on you of maple. So I have the luxury of having the American Maple Museum in my backyard in my hometown. That's home to the North American Maple Hall of Fame. So everything maple is located 3 miles from my house. So I have hard candy maple drops for everybody. So these are they're hard maple candies, kind of like a winter green mint or anything, but they're actually maple.
All set, Nick?
Yeah, I'll stop.